Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. I stayed at Natwar Goswami's house. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I stayed at Natwar Goswami's house. It was crowded day and night. In the morning, I would run away to the house of a weaver for a little rest. There too, I found that people would gather after a few minutes. They carried drums and cymbals with them, and the drum constantly played. Thakuti, thakuti. We could have our meal at 3 in the afternoon. We would have our meal at 3 in the afternoon. How, when ecstatic love of God comes and a man is in ecstatic state, now and then entering into the transcendental state of unaware of one's own body and the external world, how people gather, unasked, uncalled, they gather. Just like when the lotus blooms, the bees come of their own to sip the honey from within. Like that, wherever saints are there, the noble people who can understand the divine presence, who have transcended the bodily identity to great extent and totally free from the animalhood in their nature, would be immediately attracted. Animalhood is there, intense desire for enjoyment and all. That gravity will not allow them to move towards the divine. Otherwise, when the desire for enjoyments, gross enjoyments, of course, we do get enjoyment in various ways. Higher and higher enjoyments we move from lower enjoyments of bodily indulgence and sense pleasures. We go to higher and higher intellectual enjoyments, artistic enjoyments, music, singing bhajans and dancing. All these are higher and higher. Then last is the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where he is immersed in the ocean of bliss as bliss. Is bliss like a river entering into ocean? The river is also water, ocean also is water. Water is flowing into water to become the ocean water. Like that, the Nirvikalpa is the last, ultimate, the culmination of the Jiva's existence in the absolute existence. When he comes out, he will be completely divinized from core to the external most. His skin, body, whatever is part of existence is there, physical, bodily existence, psychic existence, intellectual existence, then heart, everything will be divinized. And God is there in that human body. Nothing else is there. No kama, no krodha, no lobha, no moha. It cannot enter again because it has become golden. Iron can fall anywhere and rust. But the philosopher's stone, when it touches, the whole iron becomes gold. Afterwards, it will never rust. So, even acids cannot dissolve its gold. So, to dissolve that, the only possibility is divine love, where he melts himself. So there you can see the attraction for the people They will be just like the saints are just like small children. So much of simplicity, guilelessness, purity, divinity. They radiate peace. For many people, this divinity, radiating peace and all, becomes allergic. Those who have the intense desire of enjoyments and possessions in the world. So that those who are free from that gravity of the worldliness, they feel attracted like bees and these moths when they see light at night, how they throng around the light. Like that, people will start thronging. The rumor spread everywhere that a man had arrived who died 7 times and came back to life again. The samadhi, they call it death. Hriday would drag me away from the crowd to paddy field for fear I might have an attack of heat apoplexy. The crowd would follow us like a line of ants. During Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, the same thing was happening. Again, the cymbals and the never-ending takuti of the drums. Hriday scolded them and said, "Why do you bother us like this? Have we never heard Kirtan?" The Vaishnava priests of the village came and almost started a quarrel. They thought I would take their share of fees from the devotees, but soon they discovered that I don't touch a piece of cloth or even thread. Someone remarked that I was a Brahmagnani, so the Vaishnava Pandits wanted to test me. One said, "Why has not he beads and mark on his forehead?" Another of them replied, "They have dropped from him as dry branch of a coconut tree." It was there that I learnt this illustration of the dry branch of coconut tree. The upadhi's limitations drop when we attain knowledge. How the people, you see, smallest amount of, if you do any tricks or anything, immediately there are people who can identify. Or only for namesake or pretense. If I pretend to be a saint, immediately people are not fools. They are all in the world knowing so many things. So to trust beyond the reasoning, first thing is everyone wants the reasoning to be satisfied, logic to be satisfied. If they are satisfied, they will have a little faith. And this faith makes them enter into the inner apartments of the saint. They keenly start observing every step, every talk, every sight. What is he seeing? How is he behaving? It will be exactly like a child. No intentions behind. Enjoys everything. Any new information, immediately. Even school children, just to talk to them, that kindles their curiosity. Just to tell them, moon smells like burnt sulfur. Immediately their ears become, moon smells like burns sulfur. It's actually true. When they get down on the moon, they will smell the earth and see. It smells like burnt. These kindle their curiosity. They try to listen. How they try to penetrate into the truth and realities. Like that, we too, when we get a saintly, slowly we will be observing every bit of his nature. What is the difference between an ordinary man and an enlightened man? The taste for all types of sense enjoyments drop away. Nothing bothers them externally except the suffering of mankind or other beings, living beings. A plant is there which is drying up without water. He runs to water that plant. Anybody suffering, he is there. If nothing can be done, he weeps, praying to God. Help him, Lord, my Lord. We see Sri Ramakrishna, a boat is going in the river. He is standing and seeing that it is getting tossed because of the waves. High tide has come from the ocean and it is tossing everything. And he is praying, oh, let it not sink, let it not sink. That is what, from innermost call, that is the only place where he feels. Otherwise, he is not affected by anything. People criticizing, people slighting, insulting, all this doesn't affect them. These are the tests by which the God presents a saint to the world. Similarly, no enjoyments tempt them. No attractions of the external world can occupy their heart or mind. All absolute equanimity. The beggar and the king are same to them. All gifts are just clay and soil, which has no value for them. So, in maintenance of body, nature is taking full care of that child of mother. So, whole thing is entirely in a different picture. So there we see the people, and Sri Ramakrishna says, when number of people honor a person, there is some great power of the God working through them. Even ordinary, let alone these avatars, incarnations of God. Ordinary people, if they have attained enlightenment, nature will take full care of that jiva. So they are seeing, why is he not having they are Vaishnavas, they have to carry all the time the rosary and go on counting the beads, taking the name of Lord. And there will be a mark on the forehead, I am so and so, identity. So Shaivites will have horizontal ash and Vaishnavas will have a kind of clay, earth, which is a slightly yellowish in color. It's called Gopi Chandan, and it is put on the forehead and here and there. That is, actual meaning is, oh, this body is just a mud, or just this body is just an ash. Those who burn it, it is fine. Body is but an ash. It is just standing now. With no time, it will fall down, and a fist of ash will be alone remain. Nor when they insert in earth, in the grave, the whole thing becomes again the mud. From where the body has emerged, it goes back to its cause. So remember, only your soul alone is going to move. Body is perishable, Atman is imperishable. So that meaning, inner meaning, the people leave away. Now he has become, even his gerva cloths drop off. A small cloth piece on the shoulder and covering his waist. Now and then it will slip down. We cannot control it, hold it, because all has loosened. Dilated, what to hold? He cannot hold anymore, anything. So last, just like the gerva, the ochre robes of a sannyasi, is something like fire. He is moving with fire of desire for realizing God, and fire not to touch anything in this world of enjoyments. Only this body is dedicated to the service of the world, like fire being used for cooking by the people. You can utilize me to serve you. And for myself, I am the fire that is walking, destroying all the obstructions to reach the God. And when everything is finished, when the fire purpose is over, what happens? When the fire is, the fuel is consumed, the whole, suppose wood, the whole fire will be burning, bright, with flames coming up. When the fuel is burnt, slowly the fire quenches. Last, there will be ash of the white color. Only ash will be there. All color has gone. Like that, Sri Ramakrishna's, all the purpose is over. The gerva also falls off, and the pure white cloth he again puts on here and there to say, I am aware of this world, I am aware of bodily existence, but they cannot hold it. That's why again after sannyasa, the Guru gives him, oh, the purpose is over. You can wear any cloth now. The fire has quenched. So they have dropped from him as the dry branch of a coconut tree. When the dry branch, only mark will be there on the tree. Once upon a time there was a branch here. It was there I learned this illustration of dry branch of a coconut tree. The upadhis, limitations, drop when one attains knowledge. All, I am a doctor, I am an engineer, I am a Brahmin, all this, I am a Shudra, all these drop away when the self is realized. Yatra vedaha abheda bhavanti. Polskalo na polskala. Brahmana is no more Brahmana. Shudra is no more Shudra. They are all enlightened. In enlightenment, in spirituality, and in divinity, all differences dissolve, including gender differences. They see only God pervading and manifesting Himself, moving about in this world. People came thronging from distant villages. They even spent the night there. At Shambazar, I learned the meaning of divine attraction, how God attracts. When God incarnates Himself on the earth, He attracts people through the help of Yogamaya, His divine power. People become spellbound. He is indirectly disclosing His identity. when God comes down in human form, Yoga Maya, a power which can do and undo anything in this world, that aspect he is bringing into picture. When God incarnates himself on the earth, he attracts people through the help of Yoga Maya. His divine power, his own divine power. Now, we have certain powers. Intellectual power is there. We have psychic powers, small. I can understand what feelings the other is feeling and respond to it. Psychology. Just to understand from the signs, a person is piteously weeping. You can understand something wrong with him. Something has gone. Either he has lost something or something is bothering him. This much of psychological powers we have that we can understand. Similarly, physical power we have. We can run, we can do, we can work. So all these powers, my power, I can use anywhere. Similarly, God has his own power, the power of Maya by which he creates this universe and all beings. They think upon this world as the duality and reality, how the unreal they are thinking into real, just like we enter into dream and think the dream ought to be real as long as we are in that level of consciousness. When we come down, nothing is there. When we go from here to dream, nothing of this world is there, even in mind. Even memory is not there. I have a world, I have a body, nothing is there. A new world, I am there, belonging to that world. And when we, similarly, God alone exists, which we see as world because of our identity with body. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The master had been conversing with the Mukherjee brothers and other devotees when Radhika Goswami, a Vaishnava scholar, arrived and bowed down before the master. This was his first visit to master. Radhika Goswami took a seat. You see, all these Mukherjee brothers and all, they were all witness of the whole play going on. Thousands of people crowding and moving from all corners to get a vision of this person who enters into ecstatic love of God. How they would have felt. They would have wondered themselves, what are we witnessing? What is happening? Radhika Goswami took a seat. Master, are you a descendant of Advaita? A companion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Goswami, yes sir. At this the master saluted him with folded hands. Master, you are descendant of Advaita Goswami. You must have inherited some of his traits. Suppose we are endowed with a great nature, the descendants will continue to have at least some of the traits. About 20% of the traits of a newborn baby, 20% will be usually, it can be more also, but minimum 20% of the parental traits will continue in the children, born offsprings, and 80% is what they bring from the previous life. They come with the software of the previous life. lives after lives, they have acquired tendencies and karmic load. With that they are born. And apart from that, they carry 20% minimum of the parental traits. Sri Ramakrishna is telling about, though you are descendant of Advaita Goswami, and you must be inheriting those traits. A sweet mango tree produces only sweet mangoes and not sour. Of course, it happens that some trees produce large mangoes and some small. That depends on the soil. Is not that true? You see. Same sweet, this one. I take a stone of this mango stone, and plant it somewhere. While planting, I make the soil rich with all fertilizers and plant it. When it grows, how beautifully it grows. Every branch, every leaf, everything is flourishing with the fertilizer you applied, the water you supply. It is becoming beautiful. Now this part, this beauty, another farmer may take another stone of the same tree, of the same mango batch, and put it elsewhere with less fertilizer. Or simply he may dig a pit and put there also the tree appears. A little water is sufficient for that. But the fruit, the difference is there. This well-fertilized soil, the fruit is very big and fine, fleshy. The one which is of poor soil, less fertilizer, it will have a mango little smaller than the other one. So, like that, difference in soil may make difference, but its nature, it has come from the same tree which gives sweet fruit. Both are sweet, but size may differ. Is not that true? Goswami humbly, Sir, what do I know? How that reply comes, you see. What do I know? Because when a person understands God is the doer, God is the knower, I neither know my past nor do I know my future. I know only the present. So this makes the difference. Oh, God knows everything. He is omniscient. He knows everything. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.